Welcome everyone. Good to see you joining here in another webinar of version 7. We will be waiting for 1 or 2 more minutes as we can see people are joining and then we will start. Okay, people are still joining, but let's get started with our webinar. Okay, so before we start, let me introduce that I am Samir, founder of ASTPP and iNextrix, and with me, Alpesh, the platform engineering team and leading the product development. So in this webinar, we will be talking about what's new in version 7.1. So back in April, mid of April, we released version 7, and in that version, we had introduced lot more features and new improvements, and we are again back with version 7.1. Last week, we released version 7.1, and today in this webinar, we will be taking you through what are the new features, improvements, and all sort of the activities which we have done, and then we will be sharing what is new after this. So in this 1 hour session, we will be taking through all those takes which we have done and we have planned. And in the meantime, if you have any questions or anything, please share you can type your message in the question answer section. And at the end of the session, we will be taking your question and answer. So yeah, Alpesh, go for the next slide, please.
Yes.
So in this today's webinar, the agenda is we will be taking you through, as mentioned, the key features, updates, improvements, and summary, and then what's new. Yeah, go for the next one. So in version 7, when we had a version 7 webinar, we mentioned that we mentioned about a couple of features which we are planning to add in upcoming version. And we are proud that whatever the functions or features which we had committed at that time, we have fulfilled all those features. So now, in this webinar, we will be taking you through all those features which we have implemented and which we had committed, which means we are very serious in terms of delivering the features which is added as a roadmap. And we know that operators requires small or big features which makes their life and their business very easy. So we are collecting the feedback from the customers, and based on that we are designing the roadmaps, and then we are adding them in upcoming versions. So this all the functionalities which you have seen and which we have delivered in version 7.1, those are the feedback which we have received from the customers, and we have added them into the roadmap. And in this webinar we will be take you through that, and the same thing for upcoming version as well. So fine, go for the next slide, please. So key features and updates. These are the most important updates in this version, which is definitely going to help you out to make your business or secure your business in a better way. It also adds more security layers. It also adds the MNP integrations available in the system. Fine. Go for the next step. So first is IP security module. Everyone knows about fail to ban, and everyone knows that ASTPP system has a fraud detection rules available. There were a gap between fail to ban and the IP security module. So with this way, we have in this version 7, we have introduced IP security module. So this IP security module is basically going to work out with the fail to ban, and that is going to impact on the IP tables. Whatever the activity which is happening on the fail to ban, it will automatically get logged into ASTP system. And whatever the activity admin will do, whether they will do whitelist or blacklist the IP addresses, that will automatically get reflected on the fail to ban. So now you don't need to manually operate or perform any system level modifications on the fail to ban. Everything you can perform that from the IP security module. Moreover, no matters if you are running a single server or you are running cluster, this IP security module are going to be synced with all of your cluster servers. So for an example, if you are running 4 servers and one hacker is trying to hack your system, and on one server it get blocked, system will automatically get that IP, log it into the IP security module, and then within 1 minute it will replicate that IP in all those 4 servers, which means on all those 4 servers that IP will get blocked. Go for the next slide, please. So the examples which we know, which we are performing typically on a fail to ban, is we add the IPs in a fail to ban. It automatically detect based on the rules. When you can unblock, you can delete. All those operations can be done from the admin portal, and then that will also going to reflect on the fail to ban. This slide is showing all those scenarios here. Alpesh, you can show the live demo of the IP security model.
Yes, definitely. So here we can see the 5 flow. So let's try to map with the GUI. In ASTPP UI, we added 2 menu under the security. So there is the IP security. Yes, IP security. We can means the admin can create the IP securities, any IP entries from here. Admin can manage the blacklist, or either he can do the whitelist any IP. Whatever IP automatically ban. So here is a clear indications like who performed the operations and what is the access type. So whether it is blacklist or whitelist, we are also showing the security context why this IP is blocked. And another thing is whenever we are performing any actions, so everything is locked here. So why IP was blocked, why IP was unbanned, who deleted, who created the IPs. And apart from this, in IP security settings, we have options to sync fail to ban data, IP tables, and ASTPP database in synchronization. So if you think that there is something miss in terms of records due to any service failure, temporary failure, any occurred, so these kinds of operations you can again synchronize from this button. And automated created report also you can convert blacklist, whitelist, etc. Few things I would like to highlight is whatever IP is banned automatically, it will flush IP after 24 hours, and the whatever IP block or whitelisted manually, it will stay in database and IP table forever. So
Yeah.
this was about the IP security. Samir, next please.
Yeah, go for the slide. Another module is MNP, mobile number portability. We know that most of the countries now supports MNP. In ASTP system, we had a MNP implemented just for South Africa and with their rules and regulations. So now we have introduced a dynamic module which you can install and you can use that. So how it is going to work is, um, as you know that when any number portability is done from the government, you get that data. So what number has been ported from which provider to which provider. So all those information you are getting from your provider, then you can create your own table. And most of the countries we have seen, they are providing database like MySQL and with a couple of fields. For example, number from provider and to provider prefixes are there. So this that is pretty normalized, simplified version of the table which you are going to have. Either you can create that table in the ASTP system or you can externally manage that. Some of the companies are providing that kind of MNP databases. So now once you will install that MNP module in the system, in ASC system, in the configuration, you will allow to set the MySQL credential, the table information, like from where you need to read that information, in from which field you need to fetch the uh, provider prefix. Those kind of information you can read it using this configuration, and then also you will be able to identify or you will be able to configure that when the MNP lookup should be done, before looking the termination rate or after the termination rate. And based on that, system will do the lookup in the termination rate and then find the gateways and then route that call to the upstream provider. Now, before routing that call to the upstream provider, it will append the carrier prefix. I mean the operator on which the number has been ported, that prefix, and then the destination number. That entire number will get automatically routed to the upstream provider, which means you will have facility to manage your own MNP database if you want to. You can, if you have any third party MNP provider and they are providing MySQL credentials, sorry, then you can also configure that within the ASTP system. You don't need any kind of customization in ASTP system. It's just a configuration you can do, and then your MNP lookup will automatically get started. Alpesh, go for the next slide. So this is the example where the flow is there, like when the outbound call is there, then whether the MNP module is enable or disable, and then based on the configuration, it will try to look up before the termination rate or after the termination rate. Then it will route that call to the gateway. So this is the common picture. Alpesh, you can explain further with the demo.
Yeah. Yes. So this is basic code flow as Samir explained. So basically this is our enterprise add-on. So however add-on is installed, so system will look for the termination rate based on condition, like when we want to check the termination rate before or after. So the MNP prefix requirement will take place accordingly. So we have one configuration page. There everything is available related to the MNP lookup. So however you install the add-on, you will see the options like enable or disable MNP lookup. This is your MySQL database server configurations. This is your MNP table details. You need to mention your table name, query fields, and the result. And here is when to perform MNP lookup. So as I explained before and after. Apart from this, you can normalize your number before getting the prefix. So match, find and replace, and you can also uh, apply this normalization rule based on the destination number, dial number. So again back to the call flow. So MNP lookup is enabled, then system will check when to apply the termination rates, and system accordingly look for the termination rate whenever required. Then MNP will replace the prefix. So for an example, 971 prefix detected, then it will replace by 0. So again, ASTPP system will execute the query on the remote database MySQL server. So it will return the uh, most suitable prefix, whatever is passed to the need to pass to the upstream provider. And then again, if termination lookup is after, then again system will check the termination rates and call will send to the gateway. So for that, on the remote MySQL server, you need to provide the privileges to the ASTPP database user. So this was about the MNP lookup, how call flow take place. Yes,
Another
Samir.
is providence-based dynamic P-asset identity header. So this is another example where I mean, couple of customers were looking for this functionality and we added. Um, we have almost everything there, but we didn't. We did some fine tuning on that to make sure it works, and that is getting applicable and that is getting useful for other customers as well. So we ACP system already have a PSA identity support, uh, but the extension of that is now based on the destination number. You will be system will be able to set the PSA identity. So, for an example, if you are using CLI pool, if you have used version 6 or version 7, you know the CLI pool concept uh, in in the account level, in the customer account level, where you can define what caller ID you would like to send to the upstream provider, whether that is from the random caller ID, random DID number, or that is from the caller ID module, or what exactly operation you would like to do. So if you have that CLI module, CLI pool enable with the DID number and the P asserted identity available on the trunk level, then you will have a provision in the customer account level where you can define the P asserted identity true or false, and then select the province. So basically, when you will set that, and when that customer is making outgoing call, whatever the province we have selected, system will try to fetch that province DID number and then set that that DID number as a P asserted identity. In this case, we are not going to change the from header, but only going to change the P asserted identity to that particular province DID number. So that is what the implementation has been done. If you have not activated the P asserted identity on a trunk level, this feature is not going to work. Alpesh.
Yes. So let me quickly explain what we have and what we extended. So we have a CLI pool configuration which we need to enable for this, and other is province configuration in a customer profile. Let me navigate to the HTTP portal inside the customer. This is in reference account number. So we are generally enabling the CLI pool from here and selecting the random date. Okay, so this is the basic configuration prerequisite for to enable this feature. So under the account setting, there is an option to enable PID, and when you click on yes, you need to enter your province. Okay, so again back to the call flow. So when any outgoing or outbound call initiated, system will check the any dates available where province is equal to Goa is available, then set that DID number in a PID header, and in this caller ID set process, So the original caller ID will preserve in a from header. We are not going to change anything in a from header. So just a replacement of did in a PID header. So in this way you can use this feature.
Yeah.
And
Next is KYC enhancement. So in version 7, we introduced KYC for DID numbers. So if you have activated this functionality, then and set the rule for a specific country on the required documents, then whenever your customer is going to purchase the DID number for that particular country, they need to submit the document before purchasing the DID number. To extend that functionality and based on the last time feedback, there were a couple of missing things which we have added in this version. First was email notification. So whenever there is any KYC submission is there, admin was not getting the notifications. So we have added that once they approve or reject the KYC, we are sending that notification back to the customer. We then we implemented the audit history, like what has been done with that KYC, whether approve, reject, or with the dates. So whatever the records changing on the KYC, we are keep updating that in audit history to make sure we are compliant with the government policies. Then small things which we have added is approved date in a listing for better understanding, better clarity. And then another small change which we have added in that whenever they are going to purchase the DID number and the KYC is not there, they will automatically get redirected to the KYC page and request them to submit the document. So these are the small improvements we have done in version 7.1. Alpesh, go for the next. These are the most demanding feature, custom audio for unassigned deeds or not in a use deeds. Till now, in ASTPP, whenever any deed number which is not assigned to any customer, or if that deed number is assigned to the customer but that destination is not set, or deed is inactive, and when someone trying to call on that deed number, that call automatically get rejected without any notification. It get rejected. So the problem which was happening, like the caller get confused, like why this call is getting hang up. So now we have introduced 4 new configuration options on a global level where admin can configure the audio files for different conditions. So if the deed is not assigned to any customer, you can play some audio file. If the deed is assigned but destination is not set, you can set another audio file. If the deed is inactive, you can set another audio file. And if the deed is in a grace period or on a hold period, then also you can set a different deed number, different audio files. So that improvement will help for admin, customers, as well as for a caller to to understand whether this deed is in use or not. So that new feature we have added in this version. Another is real-time inline editing. Previously in 7.1, 7.0, whenever you do the modification on a table, then you need to click on a submit button. So if you have modified one, two, or three rows, and then you want to save that information, you need to click on a save button, and that was confusing. Many of the time we have seen like customer just change that values and then they don't click on a save button, and then that information get disappear. So what we have done is we have enhanced that functionality. So now you can do inline modification on couple of modules, and system will automatically save that information in database rather than you click on a save button. So that functionality will help them to save the information efficiently. Alpesh, you can go ahead and show the quick demo.
Yes. Uh, Inside the setting page, there is an option to upload the different audio file based on condition. So this is the 4 condition where you can set the different wave files. So when DD is inactive, you can set a different. When DD is active but not assigned to any accounts, It is assigned to account, but call forwarding not set, or it is in the gross period. So this is about the dates. Now go to the database data tables. So this is data table interaction we make more smoother, and there is no doubts like I need to click on save button or not. Just click here and it is saved. No additional click required on save button. So it is reducing the burdens on the user. So no need to remember anything. Just update your configuration and go ahead.
Okay, go for the next one. Okay. Optional X header in IP authentication. So that is an extra security level layer which we have added in the system. So everyone who have used the ASTPP, they know about the IP setting model. So in IP setting model, you can whitelist the IP of your customer PPX or a switch or whatever they are using. And when we are receiving the call from that particular IP, we know what account has been belonged to that account, and then we authenticate and then we do authorization and all those things. And in the IP setting module, we previously had IP plus prefix combination. So if you have a more than one customer sending call from a same IP, then you can use IP plus prefix combination. So that way you can isolate each and every customer. Now we got a request that it is very important for some of the customers to have the X authentication header additionally because they are not able to set the prefix. So what we have done is we have added a new field beside prefix, which is called XAuth header, which you can set that in an invite. So system will receive the call, AS2B system will receive the call. It will authenticate the IP, again, the IP which has been added, and it will fetch the information from invite and read that XAuth header parameter and match it with the account. So same as IP plus prefix combination, now you can also do the combination of IP plus XAuth header. Then also, if you want more security, you can do IP plus prefix plus XAuth header authentication. So three combination, you can also do that. So that additional thing we have added. If you want to use it, you are good to go. If you don't want to use it, you don't need any type of changes. This is an optional field. Alpesh, you can go ahead and showcase.
Yes. So I take here two example. My left hand side is without X header, so it is working as it is based on the IP authentication. No X header, so still your authentication is working as expected. This is the additional top of that IP authentication. It will take place like source plus custom X auth header combination. So let me go to the IP settings. There is we just added one new field in IP settings. So here we can see the X header. So I set here three different examples like IP. My very first record is market live is authenticate with IP and prefix. So the second example is customer live where I set IP and X header. And third record is containing the same IP but there is no X header, or we can set here the different X header if you want. So in that way we can authenticate the call with the combination of IP and X header, IP and prefix, and more precisely you want to authenticate deeply, then you can set all together IP plus prefix plus X header, and fallback always will be there for the IP. Yes. So this was the glimpse of the last four new features. So let me explain all the improvements we did one by one very quickly. So now reseller is able to import the caller IDs. In a click to call add-on, you can now set the caller ID for both the customer as well as for the add-on agent. Now when the call is forwarded from the ASTPP to the another server and again back to the ASTPP, and you know that loop. So we we posted CDRS more accurately. And next is like the free call minutes billing accuracy. So whenever free call hang up due to any reason, so before we are showing call type standard, so now it is show clearly that this call was free and you can map your disposition. Another one is we do the clear labels in a fraud detection configuration page. Next point is we provide the option to uh, configure the DID number as a caller ID. So this is more predictable output for the caller ID. So on the top of that, this is you can configure the DID as a caller ID. So caller ID will never change by the uh, rest of the rules. DID display settings. So there was a problem in a customer purchase. So while customer is trying to purchase the DID number, first he need to filter the DID numbers, and then available dates inventory would display to the customer. So now admin can just set customer can purchase this date, reseller can this purchase date, and based on that flag date will display to the customer. Let me show you that to configuration inside the date. So inside the date we added order setting. So customer setting and reseller setting, if you set yes, so the customer can able to purchase the deed. This deed will directly display to the customer under the purchase list. Next is the origination rate history. In the previous version we introduced the origination rate history, uh, but however your data is grow, we need to manage. So we provide the purge setting for the origination rate history. Another critical optimization we did in the platform wide, like whenever the data and volume is increased, so system should able to efficiently handle the data. So we did some changes in the database. Another is SCD and MCD time format we updated, so we set to the more suitable format. Another is dynamic gateway contact header. Yes, let me show you like what we did. So inside the trunk configurations, we provided the options to update your contact header. So in any invite, we before we see that there is a always user is a free switch at the rate your IP. So now you can replace the free switch user by the dial plan variables. So you have option to select SIP authentication, SIP device extension, caller ID. These are the basically the free switch dial plan variable. So based on your need, you can set the contact header. We did some user interface level changes. So it is like clear initial workspace. So side panel will be by default close after the login. And we did some changes for the SIP profile. So we relocate the SIP profile configuration at the account level and global level. Apart from this, based on the request, we exposed to new billing parameters in the APIs, dates and product. So this improvement we did. So overall, the summary of this release is 4 new features, 25 plus improvements, and 70 plus bug fixes. Now, what is coming next? So we always share our roadmap for the next version. So let me quickly explain what we are going to develop and deliver and ship in the next version. So DNC. So denote call list in the current version ASTPP 7.1 is offering the global DNC list. So the any DNC number is same for all the accounts. So in the next version you can configure customer can configure account, any account can configure its own DNC numbers. So and Next is connected to the DNC is the band time. So currently the all the number band permanently, but in the next version you can configure the band time, and you can also link this DNC with the fraud rules. So you can design your fraud rules, and based on the fraud detection you can add your number in a DNC list, so it can never call again. So again there is a same replica of the bend time. Either it can be the permanent or it can be the temporary. In the next version we are working on to provide the complete solution of the language translation. So now we are offering the more accurate and more effective translation for the every languages we are offering. Next is enhance the installation flow. So if in rare case if any error detection in add-on installation process, so now we are enhancing this so it can give you the smooth experience in add-on installation and uninstallation process. We are also refining our UI of the fraud rule configuration, so it is part of the fraud detection add-on, so there will be the more clear and refined UI, which is give the better user experience, like what to configure. If I configure, then what action can easy to understand. I mean, definitely we are working on the performance optimization in every version, so this is also in our roadmap. Right now ASTPP supports only the CSV file can be imported, but in the next version there will be the XLSS support for the origination rate, termination rate, and DD import. Next is very important, what where we are lagging, like if any customer want to see I have a DID number, but from the DID number there is no information like when did number this did number was purchased, when this is supposed to release or terminate, and when it is supposed to renew. So customer cannot get this detail. He need to take a deep dive. He need to visit the order page and open the order, and inside the order details he is able to see like this is my date number and this is when is supposed to the renew. So instead of doing this long exercise, we are directly planning to display when this date number was purchased, when it is supposed to the renew or the terminate. Next is ANI group. So ANI group is nothing but like in the previous version we implemented the rate templates. So it is similar for the termination rates. So where you can efficiently manage your termination rate with the group of the caller IDs. And next is active and upcoming rate basis. So in while we are visiting origination rate, so there are lots of rate, and that rate is a mixture or blender of the active rates plus future rates. So to understand this mechanism you need to check the effective dates, and yeah, you need to manually calculate like this is current day, this is future date. So from this calculation we are going to give a little bit relief. So inside the every rate inside the list you will able to see, oh yes, this rate is the current rate, this is future rate. So this will give you the more clarity about the active rates and upcoming rates. So this is something we are definitely planning to deliver in the next version. Now let's move to the question and answer. Samir.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Please, if you have any question or any suggestions, feedback, please do let us know. Not Adam. The reason is we previously had in an older version, I think we're till version 5, we had a top menu, but then by adding a lot of other features a lot of add-ons. It was getting very difficult for us to maintain the top menu because when you open it, it is covering all those entire pages. So then that's the reason we moved to the left side. In community edition, there will not be any version 7. Uh, we will be directly working for version 8. Any other questions? Yes, we have a recording of this webinar and we will share it with you. Once tomorrow most likely you will receive an email with the presentation as well as with this recording link. Ah, version 3. Okay. Yes, I will share the version 7 webinar. There's a page, I think, for on-demand webinar access. We'll get you that URL. Charge call based on a CLI for trunk register servers. Not clear. Ines, maybe can you explain more what exactly you are trying to achieve? Um, Not sure whether he is going to send message, but if I understand right, maybe if he want to the route, okay, if I have PBX with a multiple customer with a different CLI, can the charge is based on CLI? Yes. In origination rate, you will find the caller ID field. So along with the prefix, which is code, you will find the caller ID field. So you can add the caller ID and then the code, which is equals to prefix, and then you can set your rate, the pricing. So whenever your customer is making outgoing call, system will try to match it with the caller ID and prefix, and based on that, it will select the rates. And if it does not match, then it will try fall for the default one. So yes, you can achieve that from the origination rate. Enric, how do we update to 7.1 from 7.0? You can contact to support team or a sales team, and they will help you out with the upgradation process. The process is pretty simple. We have a migration script available, so we just need to perform in your uh, downtime or when you have a less traffic. We just need to run a couple of steps and that script, and then you're good to go. Anyone else? Any question? We'll wait for 1 or 2 more minutes. If anyone have a question, we will address it. Otherwise, we'll conclude. Thank you. Henrik, uh, yes, you can use X header for the same IP. So you can do the combination of IP plus X header. So it's possible. Khaled, does the new ASTPP allow same email to be used for a different account? No. The reason is we use when the customer gets logged in, they need to enter either the account number or the email address. So that is the reason we have kept email address unique. Kelvin. So if I get you right, version 8 is what will be available. Yes, that's the plan for version 8 for a community edition. Any other? So I think we are good to go. Perfect. So we assume I think all the questions has been addressed. So tomorrow you will receive an email from us by with this PPT and a webinar recording. So you can go through it and maybe you can share it with your colleagues or whoever work with you. If they have any questions, they can always connect with us, and we are happy to address all those questions or concerns for them. Thank you very much for joining this webinar and getting associated with ASTPP. Hope to see you in the next webinar, and we'll keep sharing more updates from our end. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.